Hi, guys. Welcome to Pretty Rich Podcast. Okay, so I want to know how many of you guys have teams? How many of you guys have teams, or how many of you are thinking about hiring in the future? Because today that is what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about hard and humble leadership. We're going to talk about how to motivate your team, how to have good retention with your team members, and how to make sure that you get the most out of your investment. Because let's face it, your team is an investment, right? They're not just there hanging out for fun. You're paying them. So it is an investment. Why you should listen to me is because I have created 2 multi-million-dollar beauty businesses in my 30s. One that was a brick and mortar Sheila microblading, which was a permanent makeup studio. And at the peak of Sheila microblading, I had 15 artists. I had a bunch of front desk teams. I had a valet guy. I had cleaning staff, and a partridge in a pear tree. And these days, I run an online company of 35 women, all remotely. And so I have a lot of experience with people and with teams. And so I think with a lot of you guys, you're struggling to even hire just one person or just trust just one person or find that, work wife of yours that is going to make life a lot easier. Maybe you're at a point in your business where you're totally capped on time and you know that the only way that you're going to scale, the only way that you're going to make more money is, in fact, to hire and to multiply yourself. Okay, so today's podcast is about hard and humble leadership. But first, let me introduce to you GetPMUclients.com, who's a sponsor of this podcast. GetPMUclients.com. It is a free training designed specifically for all of you beautiful permanent makeup artists and lash artists who are craving more clients, more revenue, and more time for some well-deserved freedom. So if you are ready to get real results with real strategies and real advice that actually works and it's proven to work, you need to head on over to getpmuclients.com right away. You'll be treated to the financial freedom flight path. It's the same flight path of every beauty entrepreneur, no matter what industry you're in, it's the same. Trust me, I've been around the block a couple of times in this industry. Bulletproof sales script, and the sought after Grow Your Gram online course, all for free. So go to getpmuclients.com if you want to know how to double your income in 6 months or your money back. What was it again? Getpmuclients.com. The single is coming out soon. I am not even kidding. Okay.
Hey, what's going on? I just wanted to say, if you like this content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so you never miss another beauty business tip. All right, back to the show.
Okay, let's go on to today's podcast. So in today's episode, we're going to tackle a common struggle that many leaders face, getting their team motivated and achieving the results they want from the talent that they hired, right? So there's a few of you that are not taken seriously enough. And some of you are taken way too seriously and you're starting to feel animosity from your team. Or maybe you're struggling with leadership and your team members aren't taking you seriously. And you're like, nope. It's almost like they're just running the clock, right? So whatever the case may be, what I have for you guys today is here to help you understand why some leaders have the ability to inspire action and uphold morale, while others struggle to get their team on board. And I like to think I'm a good leader. And the reason why I think that is because I have the results of somebody that's a good leader. I have a big team and they all seem to be having a great time. And I also coach other leaders. And so this was just on my heart because I just notice a pattern with leaders that are effective and leaders that are not. And so I've actually just narrowed it down to 4 things. So in this episode, I'm going to dive into what those 4 things are and what I've observed with most successful leaders on my team, not just on my team, but in my program, in my mastermind, even with my colleagues in this industry. So if there's anything that I'm good at, it's people and patterns. It's people and patterns in people, right? And as the saying goes, I don't know if you've heard this, but I kind of live by it. Don't trust words, not even actions, but always trust the pattern. And so I just recognize patterns in people, and I don't know what it is, but it's almost like this sense I have. I feel like I see people sometimes better than they see themselves. And so I think the reason why I wasn't just born like this is because I have so much experience with people and like dealing with people. And I guess the longer that you're in business, I'm sure you're going to develop the same sense of people too. So whether you feel like your team isn't here for the long haul or they don't understand your big vision, this episode is going to help you figure out how to build a team that actually has your back, how to recognize when people on the team don't have your back or don't have each other's back, right? And that's also really disheartening. So get ready to be inspired, motivated, and empowered. So let's dive in and discover the secrets of successful leadership. But before we begin, real quick, I have to read you the review of the day on iTunes. I love reading these reviews and I love reading them on the air from Katarina. Oh my gosh, please, I can't say this. It's like 16 characters of a last name, but I don't want to butcher it. Katarina M. She says, thank you, Sheila, for giving so many amazing advices in your podcast. I get so many great ideas from you on how to grow my permanent makeup business. Thank you, and I can't wait to start your program. Amazing. Katarina, thank you so much for writing a review. It really helps this podcast rank if you guys, just quickly take 30 seconds to type in a 5-star review on iTunes, write a little something. It goes a long way and it makes my heart so big. So thank you so much, Katarina. All right, so in today's episode, we're going to tackle a common struggle that many leaders face, getting their team pumped and crushing goals like the girl bosses we are. So what makes a good leader? In my opinion, it's not all about being humble, not pushover status. It's respect mixed with confidence and humility, right? Confidence is 10% hard work and 90% delusion. That's something Tina Fey said. But let's be real. No one likes a cocky boss, right? Who thinks they know everything. So think about the leaders that you yourself have respected in the past, right? Who are those people? Teachers, bosses, inspiring people who've made a difference in your life. So what did they have in common? So for me, it comes down to 4 things. And the first thing is integrity. Because when it comes to being a leader, there's no room for half-ass efforts. You got to go all in, and that starts with integrity, right? So if you want to be a leader, you can't fake it. And when I'm talking about integrity, it's like you can't tell people how to have their ish together if you don't have your own ish together. This means taking actual responsibility for your own life. I was just coaching one of our mastermind students today, and she said that she started therapy. And I thought that was an amazing investment in her business. Because like I said, if you don't have yourself together, how can you expect for people to respect you? We are so much more transparent than we realize. Mark Cuban once said, it's not about the money or connections. It's the willingness to outwork and outlearn everyone when it comes to your business. And that includes working on your alignment, working on your integrity. Being a leader isn't just about having the right connections or being born with some magical talent. It's about working harder than anyone else and being willing to learn from your mistakes. So if you're not happy with some area of your life, fix it. Fix it. And don't wait for someone else to come in and do it for you. Take control of your life and get it done. If it's in the area of your health and fitness, fix it. If it's in your relationships, fix it. It's anything you're unhappy with. It could be your skin, right? It could be your It could be your spiritual life. It could be where you live. It could, it could be your environment. It could be your kids, your parents. It could be your friends, whatever it might be. You need to take control and get it done. It could be just imposter syndrome in general. So I recommend therapy for literally anybody. BetterHelp hasn't sponsored this podcast, but one day they will. And I keep hearing about this thing. BetterHelp is like, it's that app where you can get like therapy at a really low cost and like really quickly. So like Dolly Parton, who's like one of my idols, she says, if you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one. And let me tell you, girl, having integrity isn't just about looking good on the outside, right? It's about being true to yourself, true to what you really value, even when it's hard. And I'm not saying you can't be a leader until your life is perfect, but having integrity means you're working on it, right? Real integrity is about doing the right thing, knowing that nobody's going to know whether you did it or not. So it is going to be hard work because therapy is hard. But here's the thing, you're going to have to confront that thing at some point. At some point in your life, you're going to have to confront that thing. And now it might be catching up to you at work. So stop hiding from yourself, because you can, throw all the glitter on your face. You can wear glittery clothes. But if you're not living in integrity, trust me, people can sense it. And it's a very strong sense. We give it away so quickly. We give it away and just like our intonations. I'm telling you guys, like your eye might twitch. Like I can totally tell when somebody is not living in integrity. When you have integrity, that respect, that magnetism will it's so easy, right? Don't work on like getting respect. Work on like living a life that even you respect. People will just be so attracted to you. That's what charisma is. And most importantly, your team will trust you. So get out there, kick some ass, be a badass leader, and hire a therapist. Got it? Got it. Okay.
Business owner, stop what you're doing. Look at your calendar next week. Monday, no clients, $3,000. Tuesday, another $2,000. Wednesday, another $5,000 maybe. That adds up. Have you ever stopped to think about how much money you're losing every single day, every month, every year with a calendar that's not fully booked? It's time to take action now. Let's build your sales machine. Book your free strategy call today. Just click below to find out more.
The second thing that good leaders have, is knowledge. So, knowledge is the key to business and life. It is, if you're feeling uneasy about something, or if you don't have confidence in something, if you're not confident on camera, or if you're not confident with like your craft, right? It's probably because you don't know enough. If you're not confident with marketing and you're not getting enough clients, maybe it's probably because you don't know enough. If you're not confident on the phone or teaching, you just don't know enough. So without knowledge, you're just flailing around in the dark, hoping to stumble upon success. And that's why you're insecure. But as a boss babe, you don't have time for nonsense. You need to know your ish inside out, your product, right? Your team, everything in between. So let's get real for a minute. If you are going to be whatever it is you're trying to be, a mega beauty influencer, the number one go-to lash product, right? You better know what the heck you're doing. And your team can sense it if you are guessing. You can't just wing it and hope for the best. You need to be an expert in your field, and that means putting in the work to gain the knowledge and skills necessary to lead your team to success. So, and this is something that you need to do daily, right? always one step ahead. I want to make sure that I'm always one step ahead of what's going on in the industry. I'm always one step ahead of whatever my expertise is. So I'm always learning. It's literally my job to be one step ahead of everybody else, including everybody else on my team, right? I am a big believer in learning and being inquisitive about things. And that's why I chose a career that I have ginormous interest in. I just can't stop learning about. I just can't stop playing this game and figuring it out. And that's exactly the mindset you need to have as, a boss babe. You need to be constantly learning, asking questions, seeking out new information. Don't be afraid to make mistakes either, because that's how you learn. But also, don't be afraid to admit when you don't know something and then go out and learn it. So let's talk about what happens when you don't have the knowledge to lead your team effectively. First of all, you're leaving yourself open to being taken advantage of by your team members. They'll know when you don't know what you're talking about, and they are going to use that to their advantage. They will lose trust, right? You have to learn how to speak up for yourself and advocate for what you want. And that starts with having the knowledge and confidence to do so. But it's not just your team members you need to worry about. If you don't have the knowledge to make informed decisions, you're putting your entire business at risk, right? Whatever you do, be different. Go that extra mile, right? But you can't be different if you don't know what you're doing. You need to have the knowledge and skills to set yourself apart from the competition. So what does it take to have that knowledge? Being diligent about